For those of you who have never met me before, and I've not had the pleasure of meeting you, my name is Beane. You're looking at a guy who was making 3 figures every 2 weeks at a job I could not stand. I can't give you guys the name of the company when I graduated from college, but they call it the Bank of America. Now, here I was counting other people's money. Here I was doing what's called residential lending. I would lend money to builders to build subdivisions. That was one of my jobs coming out of college for the bank. And I was watching other people's dreams come true while I was struggling every day going home to a bank account that was either negative or had double digits. So I went from a double-digit bank account to earning 3 figures every 2 weeks. So I thought I had it going on. Got a good job. I'm making $35,000 a year coming out of Morehouse College. Oh my goodness, whatever. I started a home-based business. I started making 4 figures a week. Now, I don't care what you say. You go from 3 figures every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, to over $1,000 a week, and you putting in 1/10 of the work, you start feeling good about your future. That became 5 figures a month. You're talking about $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000. I was making more money in a month than I was making all year on my job. So of course I retired when I was only 22 years old, and I've been working from home for over 20 years. Now, that's of course high 6 figures in a 7-figure career, working right here out of my house. Now, here's what most people don't tell you. See, what I do is I pull the curtains back. I didn't have a dime to show for it in my 20s. Lost all my money, got audited twice, had family situations, had circumstances and problems that we all have. I literally had to start all over in my 30s, but here's what I learned. If you have a strategy for your money, no one else can. See, the problem, as I talked to you guys tonight about the 5 income streams, the problem with most people is you have not learned what's called asset allocation. In other words, when money comes in, most people go immediately and take that money and cover an expense. Well, what you're doing, you're using a concept called income shifting, but you're using it the wrong way. You're shifting your income to somebody else's wealth. So when you pay Verizon, you help Verizon residually. When you pay Sprint, when you pay AT&T, when you pay DirecTV, on their balance sheet, you are an asset. Do you understand what I'm saying? So DirecTV, the light man, the power man, the internet man, the cell phone man, when I say man, those companies, on their balance sheet, you have to understand business. They're going, okay, we got 3 million people giving us $49 a month. You wonder why they're $1 billion company, right? We got 10 million people giving us $120 a month. You wonder why they're $1 billion company. At what point do you look at your balance sheet and go, wait a minute, how many things do I have paying me? Oh, just my job? So my job is one stream of income. And you mean to tell me my job is one stream, but I'm creating 8 or 9 streams for some other corporation? Understand what I'm saying? See, once you understand business and once you understand wealth principles, you'll flip it. You'll say, you know what? I need to get a stream of income and create 5 or 6 different streams. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So when you understand business, we're going to talk about the 5 streams of income tonight and how wealth is actually created. But when you understand business, you'll understand that on their balance sheet, you're an asset, all your bills, but on your balance sheet, right, they're an expense. What you have to do is flip it. If you want to know how CEOs got wealthy, it's easy. They use leverage. They have multiple consumers paying their corporation, and because of the leverage of millions of consumers paying them, you wonder why they live the lifestyle of the rich and famous. How do entertainers get wealthy? Easy, they have leverage. I can do a movie one time, and because my name is so-and-so, box offices will book me or production companies will hire me, and then all the consumers will shift the wealth from their pockets into the actor's pocket, right? How do musicians create wealth? Easy. I can go in the studio, make a song one time, and then millions of people will these days download it, and I get paid from the streaming of my song that I made way back in 2000, right? Because it's a hit. Now, let me ask you a question. What are you doing personally to generate that type of ideology and that type of continuous income and cash flow for yourself? Or your little one stream of income, it'll come in and go create wealth for about 8 other people. See, let me tell you something. All of y'all are doing income shifting. It's whether or not the money's being shifted to you or whether or not you shifting your money to somebody else. We always say in our business, your money's going to make someone wealthy. The question is who? I'm telling you, your money gonna make somebody wealthy. So when I decided, okay, wait a minute. First of all, I got to get my $1 million back. That was in my 30s. I'm 42 now. So I got to get my $1 million back. Where in the hell did it go? Most people are saying, well, Brian, shoot, let me at least make my first $1 million. Yeah, we're going to show you how. But don't make the same mistakes I did. So here's the reality. Shift the income back to you and create wealth for you and your family. Now, there's nothing wrong. We all know you got to have a light bill. You got to have a water bill. You got to have a cell phone bill. You got to have internet. All that's great. But shouldn't your residual bills be paid with residual income? I got a question for you guys. And I promise, I'm getting into the 5 streams now. But I got to open your mind up. Why are you paying residual bills with linear income? Residual bills can't be paid with linear income because you can't work but so much. But your bills come 24/7. See, there's what I call a conflict of interest between the way your bills come and the way your money comes. Those of us that earn 7 figures, those of us that are worth 7 figures, there's a difference in philosophy. The bills are paid with money we made years ago. Let me give you guys a tip or something to think about. If you're paying this month's bills with this month's money, you're one step away from catastrophe. Okay? You can't pay this month. You shouldn't be paying this month's bills with this month's money. This month's bill should be made with money you paid with money you made 90 days ago. So here's the key. Understand this. This is important. If you do what wealthy people do and use leverage, next year's bills will be paid with this year's money. The next 10 years bill, the bills for the next 10 years will be paid with things that you do today. You shouldn't be paying this year's bill or this month's bills with this month's money. All right, Brian, how do I fix it? Tonight, I want you guys to understand the 5 income streams. Now, this is important. It's not going to make sense to you if you don't change this dynamic in your thinking and your vocabulary. There's a big difference between income and cash flow. Huge. Income and cash flow are not the same. What society does, they teach you to focus on income. Your income will only get you so far. Your income, obviously, is how much money you have, coming in. That's why they call it income, right? It's how much money you have coming in. So what we do is we get a job, and some of us get 2 jobs, and we start to add up our income. But what no one ever teaches you is how to calculate your cash flow. And the formula is simple. You don't even need a pen. It's real simple. Write this down somewhere. Income is measured in dollars. Cash flow is measured in time. Easy enough, right? Income is measured in dollars. Cash flow is measured in time. So, Brian, what do you mean? Well, anytime you want to measure cash flow, the answer is given in a time increment. So you have 3 days worth of cash flow. You have 90 days worth of cash flow. You have 10 years worth of cash flow. See, those are time increments, but you have $50,000, that's income. You have $80,000, $1 million, that's income. So I can be a millionaire, right? I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's say I'm a millionaire and I live in the Beverly Hills, I live in California, I live on Rodeo Drive, whatever. But my bills are $2 million. My income is $1 million, but my cash flow is 6 months. I'm negative. You see, in other words, because I'm a millionaire, and because I got every golf membership, and because I got every car to switch out every week, and because I got a house in the hills, and because my insurance is high, and because my bills are high, a person with great income can have negative cash flow. Anybody can. So my point is, because you have $2 million in expenses and $1 million in income, you are broke by June. So every 15th, you're struggling. Why? Because you don't have enough money to meet the expenses of the month. That means every year, if you can't get them paid week to week, you can't get them paid month to month, you can't get them paid year to year, so you can't get them paid in full, so you're negative every 6 months. That's a cash flow measurement, time. Now, take a school teacher or a high school principal. She makes 80 grand a year, but her bills are 40. Now you tell me who's happier. Her bills are 40. That means if she doesn't do anything else, her salary for 1 year covers 2 years. So her cash flow is 2 years. See, Mr. Big Shot in Rodeo Drive or Beverly Hills got way more income, way more. But he's struggling. His stress is high. You can tell when you go in his house, the furniture is all dilapidated. The paint is off the walls, chipped. The driveway need repairs. His cars need work. You can tell when somebody has terrible cash flow. You can just tell because, and it's not a knock. I'm just saying they're living beyond their means so they can barely keep the house afloat. And you can tell when a person has great cash flow. Car breakdown, no problem. Got 2 cars, right? They take vacations 3 or 4 times a year. They're not budgeting and counting who ordered the lemonade. They not fighting. They fight over the check. They ain't screaming separate checks. You know, people with great cash flow have great attitudes because the stress and the blood pressure is down. So that school teacher that makes 80 grand a year has less income, but her cash flow is 2 years. So she's got a spot in Miami. She's got a spot that she rents out somewhere in Australia. She got a nice Lexus or Honda in her backyard, and another, in her domestically, and she got another car in the garage that she whip out her little convertible on the weekends. She don't have $1 million, but she living better than you, Mr. Millionaire, because her cash flow is good. So what we do is educate people. My heart is fulfilled by educating people, and all of my guys watching the webinar right now, we educate people. And let me just tell you guys something. All knowledge ain't free. When your college professor, this is what amazes me about people. When people hear an investment, they automatically go, oh my God, what's the catch? But when they hear how much college costs, they don't say, what's the catch? Are you guaranteed a job coming out of college? Nope. Didn't you go for 4 years, blood, sweat, and tears? Yeah. Didn't you study and drink no-dos or take no-dos and drink coffee every night and get in study groups and get tutors if necessary? Yeah. Are you working in your major? Some, yeah, but most, nope. So why didn't you ask the institution you went to what the catch was? But you know what you'll do? You'll take your $10 and go to a fast food restaurant and help somebody else shift their income. Y'all wonder why I spent 30 minutes yesterday on mindset. You'll shift somebody else's income and then question yours. They got you, that's all. They got you mentally. So before I go, now that you understand income and cash flow, let's talk about 5 ways to increase your cash flow and turn those streams back to you. See, right now, some of y'all got waterfalls every month. Why? I don't have enough money to invest. Why? My future looks dark. Why? You got waterfalls. You're building somebody else's dream. Let's bring those things back to you. The first thing you have to do is understand this about your cash flow. Cash flow means getting the money that's going out right now to stay with you a lot longer. I told you cash flow is measured in time, so it has to stay with you a lot longer. The number one expense that's killing your cash flow right now is taxes. Write that down. Income taxes, which is like federal taxes, state taxes, local tax, sales tax, property tax, ad valorem tax. If you live in Miami and some of these other areas where Chicago, New York especially, oh Lord, every 10 feet, you got to drop some money off somewhere, or your little pass, your little toll pass under some viaduct, right? Why? Taxes take the first third of your income. And because taxes take the first third of your income, it ties up your cash flow. See, that's why I had to go over that first. Your income is your dollars. They get taxed, which lowers your cash flow because now you have less time to pay the bills because a third came off the top. So here's what happens. You work for your employer first, so they get paid more than you. All right, I don't care whether you believe that or not. Your job or I'm not talking about your boss, even though that's typically true. Your job doesn't have you there if you weren't performing a service that eventually led to an increase in their bottom line. So your job is going to make more money than you. So your job gets paid first. Give you what's left. Then the government will get paid second. And then the banks will get paid third. And then your bills get paid fourth. And then you wonder why you get paid fifth. So the job got paid, made more than you. The government got paid, made more than you. The banks got paid, right? Mortgage, interest, credit cards, student loans, car notes, got paid, made more than you. The bills got paid. Visa, I'm sorry, I already did those guys. Cable, internet, lights, gas, clothes, restaurants, everybody's shifting the cash from you to them. And then you get paid last and wonder why you ain't been on vacation. People in America wonder why. I'm not talking about you, don't take it personal. People in this country wonder why the kids aren't experiencing life and haven't done anything in the past 2 years as a family. Why? There's no money left. Everybody got to your money but you. But here's the question: who did all the work? So cash flow stream number one is the shift of the tax dollars back to you. Newsflash: refund means your money back. Now, I didn't learn a lot in college. Actually, I did. Let me stop downplaying college. I love college. But I'm an English major. I got my degree in English in 97. Went to Morehouse College. Here's one thing I did learn: prefixes, Latin terms, and all that. Re means again. Fund means money. So your refund is your money again. And then we celebrate it. Woo, my CPA is the bomb. Woo, I got my refund check. $8,000, $6,000. You should. It's your money. Nobody did you a favor. That's the government saying you overpaid taxes. Now, let me ask you a question. If you increased your cash flow and had those tax dollars monthly, so instead of getting $6,000 one time next year and then paying somebody all this money to get it rapidly, but that's another story, rapid refund. If you had $500 a month, which is the same $6,000, and you were eliminating your debt, do you realize you would create income stream number two? You got the tax dollars coming in. That's cash flow stream number one. I'm sorry, I said income a second ago. That's cash flow stream number one. Taxes come down, cash flow goes up. So that's number one. Then I take my $500 a month, and instead of my refund check, I shift the money back to me and pay my car note off in 12 months, 14 months instead of 60, because I got an extra $500. Now the car note is gone because instead of sending them $350, I send them $850. I send them the new tax dollars and I send them the regular note. So now the interest that they thought they would get off of me when they got excited 60 months ago, they don't know I'm looking for my title in 13 months. Now I got $850 coming back in my house. I haven't earned an extra dime, but my cash flow is up. Let me ask you guys a question. If you had an extra $850 a month, see, everybody want to impress you with $1 million and all this stuff, right? And I live a great lifestyle, but a lot of people say, Brian, you're so humble. I know, because look, most people, get them an extra $750, $1,150, $1,300 a month. They'll become a millionaire. Y'all out here joining all these crazy MLMs. You listening to every Tom, Dick, and Hank who tell you they taking you to freedom. Nobody ever tells you, you know what? Why don't you take your own money and do better? Because if you don't take your own money and do better, when you get more money, you're going to do worse. I know, because I blew $1 million. See? People not being transparent with you. If you had an extra $850 from cash flow, what would you do? So cash flow stream number one, you got to get the taxes down. There are 3 ways to get your taxes down real quick. Adjust your W-4. That's what we specialize in. You need to revisit your W-4. That's the form you filled out when you first got your job. If you have a home-based business, you can adjust your W-4 and turn your exemptions into deductions. People don't understand what that means because it's on page 2. And you have to be a business owner to adjust your W-4 and pick up some extra income so you can increase your cash flow. Well, Brian, I'm not going to get a refund check next year. Question. And I'm not knocking your refund check if that's what you want. It's your money. But where's the refund game been getting you your whole life? Are you wealthy yet? Newsflash. Wealthy people don't get a tax refund. So why don't you do the opposite of what you've been doing and do exactly what wealthy people do, and you might get similar results. Brian, I love my refund. Hey, it loves you too. Because the government gets a chance to tax it. The government gets a chance to hold your money for 12 months while they go invest it. Then they make millions of dollars off everybody's refund. and they give you a little bit of your money back, and then they look forward to you doing the same thing next year. So it's a win-win relationship for both of y'all. You get a refund, you get your big check, and they make millions of dollars off your big check. And if you like it, I love it. But if I want to talk to the wealthy people for a minute, or the people with a wealthy mindset, get your money up front. One way to do it is to revisit your W-4, get page 2 out, turn your exemptions into deductions. And now that you have a home-based business for $9.95, $34.95 a month, and the person that invited you to this video will show you how to get our membership, now you playing by the rules of the wealthy. All wealthy people have a business and don't give a dime more to the government than they should. That's not tax evasion. That's called tax minimization. We pay our taxes. Wealthy people pay taxes, but not a dime more. Now, when you get to taxes, there are 3 ways. Adjust your W-4, right? Excellent record keeping, which means when you open a home-based business, you keep excellent records. Now your cell phone bill becomes a deduction, not just an expense. Your internet bill, those same bills I keep mentioning, become deductions, not just expenses, right? A certain piece of square footage in your house. This house, this great room, I have huge meetings in here. That square footage, subtracted from all the square footage, is tax deductible. That percentage. My office in the back, I got a studio and movie theater upstairs. Those areas are where I work. Now, instead of it just being expenses, it's tax deductible. Meals and entertainment become tax deductions. But your deductions or your exemptions have to become deductions. Can't do that if you don't fill out the second part of the W-4. You can't fill that out if you don't have a business. So, and the third way to lower your taxes is investments. I'm gonna talk about that this week. I'm gonna talk about that later this week. Remember, I'm doing 7 of these in a row every night right here in my home. Y'all might wanna let people know. We're doing 7 in a row on the Wealthathon. This is part 2 of 7, and I'm gonna show you some investments that lower your taxes. I don't take investment dollars. I don't have a license. I'm a financial educator, all right? So I'll show you how investments work, and you get with somebody licensed on how to actually do it, all right? So taxes increase your cash flow when they come down. You use the tax dollars and pay off your debt. That's another thing I'm doing this week. I'm gonna show you guys on our Wealthathon how to get your debt, create your debt snowball, and get your income shifted back from the banks back to you. So that's income stream number 2. The taxes, or cash flow stream number 2. Taxes go down, money back in whose pocket? Yours. Tell the government, I need that back. I need my money throughout the year. The government says, why? You say, because I now have a business. Government says, cool. We love business owners. Business owners keep this whole economy going. So they give you tax breaks for owning a business. So why don't you have one? Because you think it's hard. No. 2, those new tax dollars eliminate the debt. So you adjust your W-4. You justify it on page 2. Your exemptions become deductions. Now your paycheck increases. You don't go buy rims. You don't go on vacation with the money. That's the problem now. You still shifting your money back to other people. You shift it back to you and say, look, let's look at my mortgage amortization. Instead of 30 years, this bad boy's gone in 9, right? You didn't have the old money anyway, so why don't you use it and create new cash flow streams and get your debt down? Question. Because the other 3 are easy. How much more money would you have if your debt was 0? You ever thought about that? If you didn't have any debt. Brian, say I got 4 cars, but all of them paid for cash. Bop, 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 bop. 4 cars, 4 titles. I don't have to worry about nothing coming in the mail every month. Talking about you owe me for this one, you owe us for that one, this one and that. Nope. Cash, baby. And if I did have a note, guess what it's paid for with? The money from last year, not this month's money. You see, if I ever wanted to leverage the bank, residual income pays for residual debt. We're gonna get into all that. This week, Wealthathon, installment loans versus installment debt versus revolving debt. All those different things. Aren't you glad you came? Income stream number 3, you gotta lower your expenses. Duh, Brian. Yeah, but lowering your expenses creates more cash flow. I keep saying income stream. It's actually a cash flow stream. This is water, I promise you. Okay? So the gym membership, If you're not going, and you had it for 3 years, quit paying your little $39 a month talking about I'm going. You can gave them about $500, okay? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not saying your health's not important. I'm saying we all have something called a latte factor, where something is robbing you and not giving you more value. In other words, I'm not saying cut all your memberships and subscriptions and be cheap. I'm saying look for things that when money goes out, more comes back. If you're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes, you need to quit, but doggone it, cut it to 1. Then add up. I don't know what a pack of cigarettes costs, but I'm just going to say $7. I don't know. But $7 times all your cigarette packs. What if you had that in an interest-bearing account somewhere bringing you money? All of us have a latte factor. That means a cup of coffee or something small that we can reduce. Can you go to your cable company? Do like I do, man, every 3 months. I'm telling you, for real, for real. I don't care how much money I make. Every 3 months. Hey, I'm thinking about leaving. What can you do for me? Man, you know, you first just called me and they said they're going to give me a year free HBO and Showtime. And I've been with y'all 10 years. I just want to know before I go, what can you do? Mr. Beane, hold on. I'll be like, I thought so. All right, Mr. Beane, this is what we're going to do. We're going to match it. You get free Showtime, you get free HBO, and we're going to bring your complete choice down to $49. Cool. Lock that in for 2 years. Click. You know, it's business. Call your gas company and renegotiate the deal. Call your cable company and see what's up. Because they're not going to call you because on their balance sheet, they're winning. Call your internet company. They got higher speeds for less money. You just ain't asking for it. So that's cash flow stream number 3. The $80 to $100, that's $1,200 a year you can bring back from just making some calls and renegotiating the terms of your utilities. You see what I'm saying? It's basic stuff. But what most people try to do, they try to budget their way to wealth. In other words, that third stream, that's all they do. Lower this, lower that. All right, baby, we should be doing better now. No, that's not going to get you to wealth. That's one stream, but the taxes are number 1. The debt is number 2. The expenses are number 3. Business income, before we go, is number 4. Business income. You got to have a 1099 in your portfolio. Now, I told you guys tonight, man, you can become an educator and we'll teach you how to educate others online, on our conference calls, on our webinars, live in person. Doesn't get any better than that. Brian, what do? You get people in front of us and we help you educate others and free their minds from this financial bondage called capitalism that they never learned. So now you got a business. So you got to have residual income, and we teach you how to earn residual income. So now a business pays taxes last. A W-2 pays taxes first. You see the difference? So in this country, what they did was they tricked you. They used all these letters and numbers: W-2, 1099, 401k, 501c, Schedule C, Schedule A, LLC. You see what I'm saying? They use Form 529. What is that? That's your college education. Then, my 401k, what is that? Well, that's the tax code. Your 401k is not an investment. That's a tax code. The 401k, what they're investing in is what you need to watch. But some of y'all haven't looked at your 401k in 20 years, and it's not performing well. You see? So they throw all these letters and numbers at you. But tonight's number, you need to know, 1099. Get you one. Okay? Because that tax code says, pay myself first, pay the government second. And they let you do it legally, ethically, and morally, because the term 1099 means pay taxes last. The term W-2 means pay taxes first. Now, don't you want to be paid first and pay them second? Then why don't you have a 1099? That's cash flow stream number 4. See, you can increase your cash flow if more money was coming to you and less money going out, because that's the time piece I talked about earlier. Number 5 is investments. You have to have passive cash flow being generated by your investments. Write this down, guys, and type this in the comments. You cannot outwork interest. We're talking about 5 cash flow streams tonight. You cannot outwork interest. You know how you know? Because you're seeing it every day. Are you outworking your credit card? No. It's working against you. Are you outworking your car note? No. It's still coming. You've had it 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. You're outworking it? No. Are you outworking your mortgage? No. Good luck for the next 15, 30 years. Are you out working your student loans? Nope. In fact, hell, you got those in forbearance and just say, you know what, forget that for a minute. You can't outwork interest. So let me ask you a question. Why don't you flip it and have interest working for you? And if you can't outwork interest, then that means your investments will outwork you. See, it's just a mindset. That's the fifth cash flow stream. So I got to run, but all this week, we're talking about the Wealthathon. My name is Brian Beane. I'll see you guys right here tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, 7 Pacific. Peace.